What's going on, y'all? It's JD Piquel. Today on the Hard Count, what are we watching for during Oklahoma's spring practice? Welcome into CFB with JD, the People's Channel for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here. We do a video nearly every single day. Would encourage you to subscribe. Jack McKenzie, Armstrong Sims, our production team, they do the real heavy lifting behind this show, and you drive the show. Easy medium. Easy medium for you to help do that is at my Twitter page, JD Piquel. The DMs stay open like 7-Eleven. You can answer our open-ended questions. We do a lot of Twitter polls. We do snippets from the show. We want to involve you. That's a really easy way. Again, a really easy way for us to involve you. So, Oklahoma starts their spring practice March 22nd, about a week or so from today when this video was filmed. There's a lot going on in Norman. There has been a lot going on in Norman since it feels like they played Bedlam, and then they had the bowl game, and then you had musical chairs from the quarterback position, from the head coach position. A lot to unpack, a lot to talk about. We're just going to go into what are we looking at most closely in terms of questions we want answers to by the end of spring practice. We'll probably get our best answer in the spring game, but we're just going to dive into this and kind of tell you what we're thinking and what I want to see happen in Oklahoma's spring session. First and foremost, can the offense, most specifically, the team is one thing, can the offense accept and thrive under Dillon Gabriel? Now, what's that going to look like? How crisp are you in the spring game? Do you look like you have your timing down with your receivers? Because anytime you bring in a transfer quarterback, I don't think it splits the team quite so much, but let's call it what it is. You're putting a brand new engine into a car. Okay, so the car is, it has four wheels, it's got doors, it's got nice interior leather, it's got a good paint job, it's Oklahoma paint job, so I'm sure it's a nice dark red. But what makes it go? And even more so, with that new engine, how fast can it go? Because we've seen what Jeff Lebby can do at different stops. We've seen him and Dillon Gabriel together, but if this engine doesn't fit in the car properly, or it's not properly calibrated to the car, it's going to sputter. It's going to stall out. It's going to have issues, okay? So how quickly can we find a mesh point with Dillon Gabriel as our quarterback if we're Oklahoma? I think that looks a lot like, what is he able to do from an audible standpoint? Is he able to check in and out of things? Does he feel comfortable with his receivers? This, that, and the other. To take that a step further, what does his development in the quarterback room and the quarterbacks around him look like? We did a whole video on this. Hey, should Oklahoma go into the transfer portal and get another scholarship quarterback? All of you jumped down my throat and said, we got Micah Bowen. You know who Micah Bowen is? He's a Bishop Gorman guy, went to Penn State, transferred to Oklahoma under Lincoln Riley. I understand that. I understand that's exciting. By a lot of accounts, he's your fourth quarterback. If you want to make an argument and say he's your third quarterback, okay, great. Bottom line, you don't feel amazing about Micah Bowens right now. But this spring, does that opinion totally change? Does the staff fall in love with him? I'm not saying they don't like him right now, but if he's listed as fourth, according to some other sites, there's reason to believe that maybe he's not your most viable option. So, between him, Ralph Rucker, Nick Evers, and Dillon Gabriel, what does the depth look like there? Do you feel confident in Micah Bowens as your third guy? Heck, do you feel confident in Micah Bowens being your second guy and just totally saving the Nick Evers train for the next year and being able to completely and with 100% certainty give him a red shirt? I think that's something that's going to be really interesting. Football's a physical game, man. Like, there's going to be a point at some time in this season where you need somebody else to play quarterback, whether it's for one play because Dillon Gabriel's helmet came off, whether it's because of one game because he's injured or ineligible, or any scenario you want to dream up. It is better to have more capable quarterbacks. So what does the development look like in-house? We'll tell you what you should do post-spring practice. Do you need to go to the transfer portal, or can you just leave that alone altogether? In tandem with that, what does the playmaking ability look like on the outside? Because remember, there was a mass exodus after Lincoln Riley left. Jaden Hazelwood to Arkansas, Mike Woods to the draft, Mario Williams to USC. Your one consistent playmaker that's still there is Marvin Mims. We did a chalk talk on him, broke down his skill set, so you know that I love Marvin Mims. I'm a Marvin Mims Jr. fan. With that being said, if you have only one receiver that you feel confident in, you got problems. You probably aren't able to throw the football consistently on offense. I don't care who you have playing quarterback. So who else is going to step up? Jalil Farouk is a name that you hear around a lot of circles in Norman, someone they're extremely excited about, played a lot of special teams last year, but the ability this kid has is through the roof. Expect him to step up. I want to see him step up this spring. I want to feel good about him being our number 2 guy, probably behind Marvin Mims, going into the season. And then around him, who else is going to step up? At the tight end position as well. Austin Stogner's gone. Who's going to step up there and be a guy to be your presence over the middle? I want to see diversity. I want to see versatility. And I want to see somebody take control of that number 2 spot and show, hey, when they double Marvin Mims, because at some point they will double Marvin Mims, can you make him pay with another asset, if you will? So I think that's on their roster. Can it be developed in the spring, and can they take control of that next role is going to be a very crucial variable for the success of this offense going forward. Now, remember, Jeff Lebby, he wants to run the football. I think they're going to get a heavy dose of power, heavy dose of inside zone, RPO stuff, but the RPO is only helpful if you can make them pay on the backside of that, okay? So we'll see how much Jeff Lebby chooses to, insert that this spring, but it's going to be very much personnel-based. Finally, what's the buy-in from this team? Similar to when you get a transfer quarterback, if you get a whole new coaching staff, you get a whole new head coach, there is 3 groups of guys that are on your roster, okay? And they can be divided into these 3 buckets. You have guys that are totally bought in, that are sooner born, sooner bred. When they die, they'll be sooner dead. They're not leaving Oklahoma, even if there's a fire. You have guys that are out, guys that are probably already out of the program at this point in time. Your Mario Williamses, your Caleb Williamses, your Jaden Hazelwoods, guys that are just, hey, no knock against them, but they were Lincoln Riley's guys. They decided they want to go somewhere else. They want to follow Lincoln Riley. They want to go to another school, whatever it may be. They are not on board with a new coaching staff, and that's fine, but you want to get those guys out of your program, so you have that group as well. And this third group is potentially the most lethal because they're indecisive. They're on the fence, right? And I think this is arguably the most selfish group because you're on the fence not because you want to see, what happens if you like the staff, you want to still get comfortable. You're on the fence because you want to see what's in it for you as a player. Hey, how do I fit into this scheme? Am I getting as much playing time as I got a season ago? Does the coach like me? So you want to make sure those guys that are on the fence decide quick, fast, and in a hurry if they're going to stay on the fence. I'm okay with getting more data. I'm not okay with getting indecisive. Okay, so I want to make sure that third group, the group that's on the fence, make sure they are either with you or they're out of the program because you can't be hot and cold. You can't be lukewarm, to quote the Bible. If you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out. So is there buy-in? Because that's going to be what is the most telling for this team going forward into the fall. If you're bought in, you got a real good chance. This roster's got the talent, they got the coaching staff, they got the quarterback to make this thing hum. If you're not bought in, if you're not on the same page, if there's not enough cohesion within the program, it's going to be a long season. You're going to have some questions going into the next offseason. So a lot to be unpacked, still a lot to be discovered. I don't think this spring will define the Sooner team, but you better get some questions answered before you jump into the fall, or at least feel good about some positions before you jump into the fall and start playing real live action games. We're going to be here to cover it all. So go ahead and subscribe. That's it for us here on The Hard Count. Appreciate you tuning in. Again, subscribe to the channel. Do a video nearly every single day. Follow me on Twitter at JD Piquel. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.